to help you with time management. Not everybody has to speak, but just if somebody wants, from each group, wants to talk about the app that they downloaded and how it was helpful, and maybe how it wasn't helpful, and maybe it doesn't have all the functions that you wanted to have. But so who found something that they want to share? What sort of apps did you find?
Andy has one.
Oh, okay. Andy's got one. So you're volunteering, Andy.
But it's not free.
It's not free. Okay.
Yeah,
well, there's a okay. So what is it called?
I got an app named a tracker. It's a time. This one.
How do you spell?
This a tracker. A tracker.
Tracker.
Yeah.
It's free.
But the Pro is not free.
Oh, a tracker.
A tracker. Oh, okay. All right. So A tracker.
You are not free. You are not Pro. I'm not Pro.
Oh.
Pro.
Okay.
So you pay it.
Yeah.
You
right,
how much?
Okay. A tracker. Okay.
This is a time management app. Yeah. We can use it to record everything you did in the day, and it always gives us a chart for what time do you do something in the app. So you can manage your time by the chart, through with the chart, and you will find some you waste time in something, and you save a lot of time in something, and balance them. This is the chart. Do you know?
Okay.
And also you can see like
It's very
pie.
what pie chart
And
Pie chart.
Pie chart.
Pie
This one is
yeah, pie chart and
Line chart.
line chart.
Okay.
It's all both.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Great. So is there a free version and one you have to pay for?
You can use the free version, and if you think it's very useful for you, you can buy the Pro.
What's the difference between the Pro version and the free
You can get
version?
more catalogs, you know. In the limit, the free one is limited in catalog. So yeah. Watching TV, watching the
catalog.
Like just you can study, watch TV, and each day what exercise. But if you can put more tasks.
Yeah.
It's just limited.
Yes. Task.
Okay.
Exactly.
Excellent. Okay. Lovely. That's a nice one. Who had a different one? Did somebody find a different one?
Oh, yes. Okay. Our
I just use the. I not download app just different app
Okay.
in the Apple mobile.
Okay.
The calendar.
Just the
Apple
calendar. Just
yeah.
Apple calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really.
From Apple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
When open the calendar app, you can see the plus button on the right. Plus button on the right top of the page.
Okay.
So press it. You can add some plan for the time, and the plan can be repeated.
Okay.
So repeated activate or every month, because our timetable is also repeated. So
yeah.
so I just add only 1 week timetable into the calendar and repeat it every week.
Okay.
So,
very
yeah.
good. Forever and ever.
Yeah, forever and ever.
Until a certain date. Okay.
There is a program that counts famous
Yes.
today. If you don't like to like because you train hours like us, just we want to put the metas.
Yes.
So you can put the metas and the things that is really nice in it, that when you finish, it will give you an answer that you finished this task. It's like, okay, gosh, you
Okay.
finished one thing,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you feel like you achieved something.
Right.
You put the task, and if you want, like if I have to submit homework after 3 days, each day we will just give you, like after you have this today you have to finish 2 days, like
Okay.
3 days, like a counter.
Okay, so what's
Yeah, after it's finished, it's finished. Finished.
Finish, just finish, finish,
Oh,
okay.
finish. Yeah.
So we've got we've got 8 tracker, we've got calendar, we've got finish. Okay, is that one free?
Yeah,
Is it free? Okay, excellent. Okay, did anybody else have another one that they found? Do you think you will use these? You don't have to, but do you think they would be useful for you? I think you might use them. Sorry?
So tell me it's finished.
Oh, just
yeah, so
thank
it's
you
finished.
that it's finished, yeah.
Yeah.
So it gives you a sense of accomplishment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just some tools that you can use. You can use them or not. It's totally up to you, and whatever works for you. Because I don't, for myself, I don't. I use calendar sometimes but I don't put every single thing on it. You know, I might not even put a time on it. I just write essay, because then I know I have an essay due or something like that. But I don't put specific times on everything. But if I have an appointment at the doctor or the bank or something where I have to know the specific time and I can't remember everything, then I'll put that in. So you do what works for you, and or you could use that. You could use just sheets of paper. So it's totally up to you how you want to organize your calendars and your all the tasks you have, and whether or not you want to feel successful. They'll tell you if it's finished or whatever. So it's totally up to you. So this is where your own personal interest and your own personal needs come in. Some people need more reminders than others, so it's totally individual, however you want to use it. But just to introduce you to some different types of tools that are available. Okay, so that was your your preparation for today. The other thing I wanted to remind you about, and that is if you remember, besides that preparation, having something to say about abs. Today, for this week, we were supposed to have had, this one, yeah. On your Sauton Smart Skills, you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these different weekly things. Please remember that every week, before you come to the lesson, before the week, that you should finish these online tasks. So you should have already done this one, and you should have already finished the time management one as well.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you haven't, don't worry. It's the beginning of the term, and things are crazy. But try to keep ahead of the game. Try to be proactive. Okay? And for next week, definitely do the critical thinking. These two are fairly easy, but once we start doing critical thinking, it's not difficult, but you really have to start thinking more for yourself, and learning ways to critically evaluate different things that you're reading or hearing on the news, for example, or reading a newspaper, or reading something in a book. Because when it comes to your studies, in the autumn term, or whether you're here or elsewhere, you're really going to have to think about what your assignments are about, and put your own opinions and thoughts into them. So really the main meat of doing independent studies starts with your critical thinking. Yes, we want to know what independent learning is. Yes, we want to know about time management and organization, in general. But to really get to grips with your own subject, you really have to start thinking critically about what you're reading and hearing. So we'll start that next week. So if you could please, before next week's class, look at the critical thinking activities there, okay? And just as a reminder, there's also on this, on all of these weeks, there is, we give you these sheets of paper anyway, you know, these summaries at the end of the lesson. I tell you to take those away. They're also up here, so session summaries and also your preparation for the following week. Okay, these are here too. So, you know, you can have, if you lose the piece of paper, you can always get it here. So here's the summary from the one I gave you yesterday, and the other one should be there as well, session 2. So I'll give you this one today. But in case you lose these sheets, they're always here. Okay? So you can look them up. So please do those, and especially, again, for next week with the critical thinking, really do that one ahead of time so you have a better idea of what we'll be doing in the lesson. Okay. Now, just another sort of silly thing about organization, going back to organization. There's also, besides organizing your time, there's also organizing your papers. And I keep everything in a binder. Again, this is totally individual and up to you how you want to organize your papers. Some people want a binder or a folder, you know, a folder or one of these plastic envelopes for each class.
Yeah.
Or some people want to put everything in one binder, keep it all together. Again, totally up to you. For me, I have my own schedule on the front because I never remember where I'm supposed to be. So if I have it right on the front of my folder, and I chose this folder specifically, this binder, because it's got this clear envelope in the front, and I can just put my timetable in there. So this is my work timetable, and I know where I'm supposed to be. It's like, oh yeah, whoop, okay, whoops, got to run over. And then I have all the 3 classes, the 3 groups that I have. I have a separate, you know, plastic envelope for each one of those, and I've got the register, and I've got all the different what do you call it? Advising appointment sheets in the same folder. So I try to keep everything together and keep it very organized. And then sometimes papers get lost, and then I've got to redo. I mean, it's a continuous process, isn't it? You know, I'm continually having to do it. But if I don't do that for myself, then I'll be totally disorganized. So again, it's a totally personal thing, up to you. Some people don't need this much organization, but I do. So I keep everything in this folder. And if I lose, yes, sorry. How much is the folder?
Yeah.
I think I got this at like Staples. You know the shop Staples?
No, where is it?
It's a shop called Staples, and it's an office supply shop. And you could. I don't know if there's one in Southampton. I didn't get this one here. I got this one in London. But there must be a Staples nearby. Yeah, and but I love this.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. Beautiful. Yeah. All different colors. So anyway, so this is just for my own personal, you know, the way that I like to work. But you might have a different system, okay? Which is perfectly fine. Did you find Staples? Staples. S-T-A-P-L-E-S. Staples. You know, like when you staple a piece of paper together.
Yes.
It's called Staples.
Papers.
Is there one in Southampton?
订书机吧，是。
Or there's another shop called Ryman. Like that. They have the same kinds of things, but I did find this one at Staples. Yeah. Did you find one in Southampton?
什么？
Okay.
是订书机。
Oh, okay.
不是这个
it's,
Staples。
Yeah, it's West T. Okay. Right. Oh, okay. It's near the West T retail park.
拼错了吧？
So that's very handy, very close by. Okay. Right. Does anybody want to add anything about maybe they have a different way of keeping their papers? Anything else you can think of? Yeah. Do you have any other methods of keeping yourself organized as far as papers?
Other type of folders.
Other types of folders, okay, all right. So there's all different kinds of folders that you can use, okay? And then maybe a little filing system at home on your desk.
Yeah.
So again, totally up to you and totally to your personal needs. Okay? So that was just a silly little thing. I know you're all mature adults, you know, and you know how to keep yourself organized. So okay. So now the last thing we're going to do about organization, time management and organization, is I'm going to give you a set of scenarios, hypothetical situations. First of all, is it hot in here? Is it warm in here? It's really warm in here, I think it's too hot. But anyway, I'm going to give you, in the little groups that you had before, you can make new groups if you want, groups of three, I think, mostly, and then there was one group of 4 people. I'm going to give you a situation about organizing. So it's a little story, and you've got to think about what you're going to do to help yourself in the situation, to try to solve it. Okay, so for example, here's one of the examples. During your course, you are assigned 3 different essays for 3 different modules. One essay is due in 1 month, but the other 2 are due in 6 weeks. You're also planning to go on holiday for 5 days, and you know that you'll also have to prepare for your classes each day. So that's a situation, you know, a real situation that could come up when you're doing your course, you know, your master's or your PhD or whatever. And you've got essays to do, you're going to go on holiday, you've got to prepare for classes every day. So you've got to think about how you're going to, what can you do to organize yourself? Okay, we've already talked about, you know, keeping calendars, keeping papers organized. So I'm going to give, so if you want to put yourself in these groups again that maybe you had before, if you liked working with those people, so working in groups, I'll give you a little sheet of paper with a situation on it, and you've got to think about what you would do to help yourself be successful in this situation. Okay?
Okay.
So who's in what group? 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's a different situation. So I just want you to discuss, I want you to discuss how you would help yourself in these situations, how you would make them better, how you would make sure that you're successful. So do you want to be a group here, 3? Okay, so that's your situation. And please, 3. Okay, you can have the one I just talked about. And then